Welcome back, friends. So for today's case, I actually have to give a shout out to John Harling, one of my subscribers, who tipped me off about this hearing today. It does take place in the city of Detroit, so it's going to be interesting. It's not a court I've covered before. But as always, I am not an attorney. I am not making any legal conclusions nor putting forth any advice. All comments are my opinion, and all persons are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. And as always, down below is the link if you want to further support me and join my membership. The link is down below. I also have the link to Luna's BarkBox habit. If you have any tips for me on any hearings, you can always comment on one of my videos, or you can email me at jesscaruss@gmail.com. It's JESCARUSS@gmail.com. I will have the link for my email down below in the comments as well. And merch will be coming soon, so keep your eye out because I got some pretty fun stuff planned. So let's head over to the courtroom in Detroit.
All right. Who do we have there? Has he been interviewed yet, Mr. Murad? Did he get interviewed?
I think so. Let me just confirm with Ms. Roberts.
Okay, now we just need an officer to get in the room with him. There we go. All right. Okay. Oh, we've got to dial them again, but I don't know what number. I don't know what number they want to be dialed at.
You've reached the Livonia Police Department. If this is an
Does anybody still have the face sheet on the other Livonia case? I think it has a phone number on there that I can use to call them. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi. Okay. Do I have the right number?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Counsel, we're ready in Livonia.
Ready, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. This one is People versus Emiliano. Is it De La Garza? Officer, your name and badge number for the record.
Detective Scott, 797.
And are you the person who signed the complaint?
Yeah.
All right. We've got one count of controlled substance, possession, less than 25 grams, one count of assaulting, resisting, obstructing police officer. Will you be testifying from personal knowledge or an investigator's report?
Investigator's report.
Please raise your right hand. Swear or affirm the contents of that report are true to the best of your information and belief.
I do.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Emiliano de la Garza allegedly fled from officers on 11/10/22, 12/8/22, 12/20/22, and 12/21/22 in a silver BMW. On 12/22/22, officers located the vehicle parked on Utah Street near Hughes Street in Livonia. They observed De La Garza and exit the vehicle and walk south to Joy Road. He left the residence a short time later carrying a backpack. Officers approached De La Garza and eventually took him into custody after a brief foot pursuit. His backpack contained.
Thank you. What do you mean when you say he fled on 3 separate occasions?
Fled from officers in a vehicle from a traffic stop.
Lights and sirens activated?
Yeah.
And he just failed to stop?
Correct.
Okay. right, thank you. I do find probable cause to support the charges, signings, and we'll get this process. Go ahead and have him step up for the bond setting portion, please.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. What's your name?
My name is Emiliano de la Garza, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, counsel.
Ryan Marad, PA 3665, on behalf of Emiliano de la Garza. Waive reading, stand mute. Mr. de la Garza has been advised of his constitutional rights.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived and enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I'll hear an argument as to bond, obviously, with the concern being flight risk.
Yes, Judge. Your Honor, I'd indicate that Mr. de la Garza indicates he has stable residence in the community in the city of Westland with his mother and her boyfriend. Judge, he also has 2 children in the community. I understand that he doesn't have any assaultive criminal convictions that we're aware of. Your Honor, that he's gainfully employed at Freeman Renovations. He indicates that he has a family size of 3. He also supports the mother of his children and his children. Your Honor, he does indicate that he understands to comply with any court order that Your Honor orders. I know the court is concerned with flight risk. I just would advise that this is a non-assault case. The allegations are non-assaultive, and I don't believe he has assaultive priors. I actually don't believe he has any capious history either. I did not hear anything that tells me he misses court. I understand what the allegations are, but I don't think he's missed court based on my knowledge. I would ask the court again to consider release on personal bond on this particular matter, Judge.
All right, thank you. So obviously the concern is going to be to flight. Looking at the investigator's report, looks like there is a revoked driver's license, probation for OWI. Says CCH indicates there may be some other things there like traffic stuff, forgery, in terms of either convictions or charges. I can't tell. There are case reports associated with these prior fleeing incidents. On 11/10, there was a report made that they activated emergency equipment to initiate a stop. He fled at a high rate of speed. 12/8, there's a case report number. They saw the vehicle again. They attempted a traffic stop by activating emergency equipment. No attempt to slow down or pull over. Drove between 2 vehicles that were stopped at the red light in order to get onto West Chicago, increasing speed at that time through a 25-mile-per-hour zone. December 20th, there's a case report that they saw the car again, attempted to pull it over, followed and advised additional patrol units so they could attempt to stop. Before patrol officers were able to get there, there was an abrupt turn and acceleration away at a high rate of speed. Before emergency equipment could be activated, then it was, and then he took off at 58 miles per hour. 12/21, they again see him. That one in 12/20 had a case report number. And then on 12/21, officers activated their emergency equipment. The BMW drove out of the driveway and across the front lawn on Joy Road, fleeing eastbound on Joy at a high rate of speed. His own parents stated he recently bought that car and they are unaware that anyone else drives it. He was arrested driving that same vehicle in August of 22 and charged with OWI. On 12/22/22, so we have December 21 driving across the front lawn. 12/22, they find the BMW in Livonia. They observe the driver, who they identify as this defendant, exit the vehicle, run south across Joy Road. After about an hour, he grabbed a backpack and came back to his vehicle. Then when he saw them, he threw it all down and ran again through a bunch of backyards. I mean, this is a flight risk if I ever saw one.
I am begging you. I have a GPS tether on.
Hey, no. Hey, Mr. de la Garza, absolutely not. I talk for you. Don't make any statements under any circumstances. Absolutely not.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Your Honor, thank you. Your Honor, if I could just inquire as to whether or not that vehicle.
I mean, the reason he doesn't want you to tell me that is because The next step down from keeping you there would be a GPS tether. And what that's telling me is not even a GPS tether keeps you from wandering from the police. Go ahead, counsel.
No, you're not going to see anything. Judge, I would inquire as to whether or not the vehicle is impounded at this time. And I think that would make a big, difference with regards to bond. If the,
Why?
Because Your
Why?
Honor, I believe it's alleged that, he's using some sort of fast BMW. If Livonia has his car, the court could hold that and not release it to him. And I believe there's going to be a hold on that car if it is impounded. He would.
That's a creative argument, counsel. It is, but I mean the speeds that he's alleged to be fleeing at are 54 miles per hour, 55 miles per hour. That doesn't require a BMW. What concerns me is that he seems to be willing to undertake extreme measures to evade the police and get away from the police. And so in terms of flight risk, I think he is one. And I don't know then how I keep him from being a flight risk, without keeping him. I'm sure, because I know you, and I know the type of representation that you provide, that you told him before he appeared on camera today that he had the right to remain silent, and he ought to observe that. He didn't. And now I know he's got a tether on while all these things are alleged to have been going on. Right? He did that, not you. But I think I've got to keep him. I think he's a flight risk. And so I'm going to set bond in this case in the amount of $100,000 cash. It is meant to be unaffordable because I think he needs to stay. I think if he walks out the door, this situation starts all over again, wasting the community's resources, placing citizens in danger as he speeds through residential neighborhoods.
And Judge, I understand.
So 100,000 cash. Let me finish, and then if you want to add, you can. Probable cause conference, January 5th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Preliminary examination date, January 12th, 2023 at 9 a.m. Okay, counsel.
Sorry, Your Honor, I didn't mean to interrupt this honorable court.
That's okay. Go ahead.
The only thing I would add, Judge, is I know that the tether it's an alcohol tether as well. I believe there's also a GPS tether, as Mr. De La Garza indicated. The only thing I think I can ask the court to consider is making that a home confinement. I know that it could cost him his job, but I also think $100,000 cash surety bond will cost him his job too. I would ask the court to consider maybe a 10%, which is the most he could post, $1,000, and home confinement with that tether. I think under those circumstances, there's a monetary incentive, as well as the fact that he'll likely be arrested for just leaving his door, if the court would consider a deviation of that nature.
There's nothing in this that gives me any assurance that he would abide by a home confinement tether. I mean, if you see police multiple times behind you, sometimes day after day after day, activating sirens, and you keep running, there's nothing to make me think an order from the court to stay home is gonna have that effect. So $100,000 cash, because I do believe that's what's necessary, is an unaffordable bond to keep him in order to address the flight risk.
And Your Honor, just one additional matter. My office asked me to bring it up for some clarity with regard to any jurisdictional issues as to do we know anything about why he's in Westland, Judge, why he's in Livonia when this is a Westland matter? My office just asked me to raise that.
Frankly, counsel, I don't know. I mean, I'd have to read back through this investigator's report and look at all the times that the police started chasing him and finally picked him up and where they finally found him. Where was he arrested, officer? What city was he arrested in?
He was arrested in Westland.
Okay. And so do you know why he came to be held at the Livonia jail?
Because it's our case. It was right on Joy is our border road.
Okay.
And he ran into Westland from officers.
Okay, so you were still within your jurisdiction, the Livonia jurisdiction to arrest at that time. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Okay, bye-bye.